Speech off.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I wanted to do my review on The Atonement Child by Francine Rivers. This needed its own review. I didn't really talk about it much in my wrap-up because I had thoughts and I didn't want to make that video super long. So it needed its own video. I had been very hesitant to read this book just because abortion in general is a very hot button topic. And I know that I have a lot of Christian viewers who I'm pretty sure are against it in general. So I try not to talk about that at all because I don't want to deal with the discussion of it all. I'm not even going to tell you what position I am in this. So we'll just get that off the record right away. Because I'm going to get someone mad at me on either side, right? It is what it is, right? Because I don't know who's watching this. So I'm trying to keep my feelings completely out of it when I review this book. My own views on the subject. That being said, I do believe that people should... Okay, let's just start with the summary of this book. I'm kind of nervous about this video, as you can tell. We have Dinah. She is a college student at a Christian college. Her car broke, so it's in the shop, and she's walking to the bus stop to go home from work, and she's sexually assaulted. And yeah, that happens to her, and she ends up pregnant. They actually offer her the morning after pill, and she says no. That was an interesting thing, first of all. She's also got a fiance. I already forgot his name. But, yeah, so she's, engaged. She's doing really well in school. She's, got a good job. And then this happens. She ends up pregnant and her life is derailed. And the rest of this book is basically her grappling with what to do about this pregnancy. And yeah, I did not expect some of the places this book went when it comes to that. It's Francine Rivers, so I knew from the get-go that this was going to be a anti-abortion leaning book. And I was okay with that. I knew going in. But I was actually kind of surprised at the different perspectives that went into this. She really did do a pretty decent job of not making everybody who has abortions bad guys or anything like that. Actually, one of my favorite characters is a doctor that performed abortions. And I liked his story arc and his wife, that family. And they help Dinah later on in the book. Those are some of my favorite characters. And they weren't even the Christians in the book. Those are my favorite people, other than Dinah. Everybody else, frankly, can kick rocks except for Dinah's grandma. That's kind of where my opinions go from here. I gave this book kind of a low rating because I didn't like anybody in this book except Dinah. All the men suck in this book. Even the guy she ends up having a romance with, I felt like everybody wanted her to choose something different, and nobody was giving her space to decide for herself. Not even Joe, who was supposedly our good guy, anti-abortion hero. I think if I were in that situation, I would want to be able to choose without judgment from anyone or opinions either way. And again, I understand this is a anti-abortion book and we're supposed to be on Joe's side, but I still felt like he was pushing her just as hard as the people who are trying to get her to abort and dragging her to abortion clinics. I was annoyed by both sides of this book. Her parents, him, the fiance, they all just... But what surprised me wasn't even that, like, what surprised me was the reasons for the abortion, that they wanted her to abort this kid. Because they thought it was going to be like this evil demon baby or something. I'm like, wow, that's wild. That's her reasoning? It's not even because it might be traumatic for her to have to carry this baby and then give birth to it and look at its, have to see it forever, or know it's out there. Like, no, the reason that everybody wanted her to get rid of it was because of who the dad was. And that's just wild to me. I wasn't expecting that. And yeah, Joe wanted her to keep it. And he kept saying, think about it before you do something. And I kind of just wanted him to say, don't abort. Just because he kept, like, tiptoeing around the issue, not wanting... He was saying the right things, but you know what he wanted her to do. And it annoyed me. I guess I would want people to tell me, I'll love you, whatever you decide. If it was me. And nobody was telling her that. And that bothered me, including Joe. And then, I don't know, like, there was the other thing that kind of bugged me was Dinah's dad was like, what if it's black? What? When was this written? And how did we just blip past this without even asking, are you a racist, white supremacist monster? What is wrong with you? He said it twice, too. Like, was this in the 60s, 70s? I don't think so. No, because I think that Dinah's mom was, like, going to college in the 70s, right? So this had to be, like, 90s. Anyway, that enraged me more than them hoping that she terminated. Like, okay, we hope she terminates because what if it's black? Like, jeez. Can we, like, how did we not discuss this in the book? Like, why doesn't his wife ask him, this is what you're worried about? The skin color? Hello? Anyway, I was just like, wow. I did not see that coming. And like I said, I think I was more enraged by that than anything else that people were trying to do in this book. So, yeah. I also found the mom and the grandma stories interesting. I mean, they both had abortions. So, for different reasons. And, yeah. They both regretted it for different reasons, sounds like. Only the mom seemed to kind of justify the necessity for it because of who this baby's dad was. Like, I don't know. Really, the way they were talking about this potential monster baby coming bothered me more than the idea that she would have an abortion because of the way this child was conceived. I don't know. So, yeah, there's that. What else did I have? Oh. The thing that really bugged me about Jo, so she finally loses her mind when everybody's fighting over her and, like, runs away and gets a job at this restaurant, like, states away. And I loved that moment. Like, that was when I was like, yes, stay away from everyone pressuring you, get a job, support yourself, have a baby, live on your own, girl. And then annoying Jo has to come swooping in and demand she goes home or goes to live with him, but she's not living on her own. And it's like, I would have told him, who do you think you are? You don't get to tell me how to live my life. Like, just the whole thing was enraging to me. That's the second most enraging thing after the black, what if it's black? Like, Jo was just annoying. Like, go away. I know I'm supposed to find him endearing and protective and, oh, how sweet at the end of this they get married and they live happily ever after. But I didn't like him either. Like, if I'm running away, I don't want you to come find me. I want you to leave me alone. And then, am I supposed to believe that everybody was like, I mean, I understand that, like, you're not supposed to have sex before marriage and, if you're a Christian and all that stuff. Fair enough. I'm not saying go do that. But we live in a world where nobody's fazed by a pregnant single mother anymore. Like, again, I want to know when this book was written, because she was acting like she was Hester Prynne with her Scarlet Letter of Shame or something. And I don't know, as much as I'm not trying to encourage people to have sex before marriage, but I do appreciate that we live in a time where it's so common that if it happens and you're a Christian, like, you can get a job anywhere. No one cares if you're pregnant. And, like, I felt like the author was making it look like she couldn't possibly survive without a man, and that was annoying to me. I wanted her to, like, stay hidden and then come back when she had this baby and say, see, this is my kid, and I'm going to raise it alone. That's how I wanted this book to end. And I was just like, it was one of those romances that I just kind of root for. And I didn't like the way it ended. Let's see what else. I wanted, what's her name? Dinah's mom to divorce her husband. He was a jerk. Like, to her, to Dinah, like, he was awful. This book was just full of horrible men. Weirdly, except for the abortion doctor. Ironically enough. The woman at the abortion clinic was a monster too, so there's that. I'm not just calling out the men, but this book just made me hate men while I was reading it. Like, all of them. Her fiance, just, oof. I don't know. This book, like, made me, like, if this is, like, someone considering Christianity and they read this book, they're gonna run as far away from the Christian church as they can possibly get. Because of how, like, judgmental some of them were being, and just, it was bad. Like, I kind of wonder how she would write it if she wrote it now. And it took place, like, now. I don't know. It just, wow. I did enjoy there was a lot of good faith content in it too, and I loved Dinah's grandma. She was another one of my favorite characters. And yeah, it was a good read. I like the different perspectives and, like, different reasons for why people had abortions and stuff like that. Ultimately, it did have its agenda. It kind of made me think of A Spark of Light by Jodi Picoult. That one's about a shooting that happens in an abortion clinic, and different people get stuck, like, inside the building. I might read that just to kind of compare, because I know that Jodi Picoult is definitely a left-wing liberal, completely, like, and I think that one is for the other side. I'm pretty sure there's a religious person who believes in abortion in her book. I'm not sure, but I'm curious to read it just because there were so many different sides in this book. I remember I put A Spark of Light down just because I felt like it was too much of an agenda. Like, you could tell what she wanted people to get out of it, even though she was trying to be, to tell the story from both sides. But I remember, like, when it first came out, I put it down. I didn't want to read it. But now I might, after reading this one, because it really did show all sides in this one, too, even though it had, well, an agenda. So, yeah. I can't say I ever want to read this book again. I gave it 3 stars because I hated almost every character in it. But it was definitely thought-provoking, and I was into it the entire way. So I can't say I'm upset I read it. And I know that a lot of my Christian viewers might disagree with my views on Joe. That's probably the most controversial thing I've said, probably in this video, about Joe, because he's supposed to be our good guy hero who comes and sweeps the girl off her feet and marries her with baby out of wedlock and all. But I didn't like him either. So, yeah. I'm a little nervous to put this out into the universe, but I'm putting it out anyway. Please don't hate me. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.
Speech. Stop recording video.